This week on Dumb Pitches, my guest is Ashley Gutermuth, and we rapid fire some bad ideas before it divulges all the way into a detailed plan for what she's going to do after her husband dies. It's a very funny, some people start crying laughing episode. Here we go, Dumb Pitches.
What a bunch of dumb pitches. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to another episode of Dumb Pitches with Monica Nevi. I'm Monica Nevi, your host. This is the show where we talk to successful people about their worst ideas. I'm so excited for our guest in studio. You love it when they're in studio. Ashley Gutermuth is here with me.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm so happy to be
You can look
here.
at any of the cameras. There are
1, 2, 3.
a lot of cameras
One on
here.
the ceiling. It's good.
I'm so happy to have you here. We've known each other for quite a while, actually. But
Yeah.
you, we like to hear your good ideas so people don't think you've only had bad ideas. But you are a very funny stand-up comedian, and that's how we knew each other. But you were up in the Northwest because you're also a military spouse. Mm-hmm. And then you started doing these videos. I remember you starting with like doing running and picking up litter at the same time and like being consistent about that. And then you kind of expanded to a lot of military spouse content. I don't know, is that fair to say?
Yeah. It's funny because that peaked, and now I don't do that much of it anymore. But I started off like I did start off with the running thing. So I've ran every day for almost 10 years without missing any days. Even when I've been sick, I've been hit by 2 cars. One of them was here. I ended up with a traumatic brain injury from coming back from a show at Club Comedy that spun me on the highway, and I had to keep going there. And that's what led me into, after I had to go to the hospital, and they said, you were worried your brain is leaking. And I was like, that sounds bad.
You're like, I'm worried that too.
And it's like, that's not a good thing. So I had to run more slowly. So I'd do like 8-minute miles, and then that had to slow me down to like 12s or whatever. And I started picking up litter while I ran. Okay. And so I started doing that every day, and I've done that every day for 4 years. Okay. So I haven't missed a day there. But I found some nasty stuff. I've solved some mysteries.
That's great. Yeah. Good. Okay. So that's the thing. You've also, let's see, you've been on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and you were the winner of the Seinfeld Challenge that they did, which is that's pretty great.
It was pretty neat. I mean, I didn't know I was going to be on TV when it happened. I was just watching it live with anybody else that was watching the show. But they'd sent me a release form, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll be the idiot that buys Hulu just to watch like myself not be on TV. And then I was on there, and I was just like, I played baseball a lot as a kid, and I loved it. And I would, not bragging, hit home runs. All right. Big little leagues. You remember me from Little Leagues? And I remember when
also great Little League player.
Thank you. Yep. I need to put that at the top of my credits.
Sometimes I get the host to say she's a good outside shooter. So, yeah.
Nice. So I remember when I would run the bases, I couldn't hear anything. Like people would be like, yeah, and it would be just like deafening, just the idea of what was happening. I don't know what it was. Like it all closed in. I loved it. It was like the quietest my brain ever is. And that happened again when I saw myself on TV. And I remember my husband being like, hey, yeah, this is so exciting. And I was just like this. What does this mean?
That's okay. Well, good. That's still, it counts as a win for sure, and it seems like pretty significant if it's up there with your illustrious Little League career.
It's right up there. I sent Jerry Seinfeld a thank you note when it all happened. I sent it to his man, never heard anything back. So I don't know what the politeness level is. Do you acknowledge a thank you note, or is that the thanks?
Well, I never know. Yeah, that's true. I never know if he knows everything that's going, with those things. Sometimes it's like, we'll put your name on it and you'll be involved in this part, but we'll do the other parts. So
many things. But he wrote in the book, Ashley, you're so funny, and signed it.
There you go.
So
counts.
Poster quote.
Signature.
Thank you, Mr. Seinfeld.
There you go. Seinfeld said she's funny. Get out here.
Get out.
Great. Okay. Well, good. I hope you feel good about yourself, because that's not why we're here.
Bam.
So when I sent you kind of the ideas, criteria, whatever, what did you come up with? Your bad ideas?
Okay, well, here's the thing. You say bad ideas. I also say strokes of genius. Let's go way back to my Little League days even.
Here we go.
Just on the way to a game, I remember saying to my dad once, what if there was a place sort of like the movie store where you can rent movies from, movies and video games. But you could also rent books. And my dad just said, is that the library? So yes, I did invent the library. So is that a good idea or a bad idea?
I like the idea that you're like, look, libraries, great idea, but how do we really make some cash here?
I didn't want them to be
really
free.
Wasted. Yeah, you're like, I don't want people to have access to this. We want to start charging people.
I learned a crazy fact about libraries recently.
I would love to hear it.
Most of the chairs in libraries are full of pee.
That makes sense. And where did you learn that?
I think it was TikTok.
Okay.
They do have to, they got to replace them all.
That makes sense. When I lived in Los Angeles, would go to the library often because a lot of people are writing at the coffee shops too much.
Too much.
So I'd go to the library. Also very poor, so there's free
stuff.
stuff.
Not if it were up to me.
Right. Sometimes there's people who maybe want to spend a longer amount of time than I wanted to in there, and you got to pee. You don't want to get up. I don't know.
Yeah, use a chair.
Stuff going on.
You got a lot of stuff you're researching.
You found a good spot, but that's probably what it is. You get really into your screenplay or whatever everyone's working on there. You don't want to get up.
That's fair.
I mean, let's see. So you would rent the book, return it though. So that's different than like an Amazon or something where you're buying books for cheaper maybe. But.
And I really think that my dad should have been like, wow, my she's behind her time, but she's also thinking about books. She's not thinking about
that's true
movies and I have really no structure. I don't have any memories of movies. I didn't watch a lot of movies as a kid. Most things I don't get any references to. I watched I watched a lot of Mel Brooks movies. I watched a lot of movies that I should not have watched as a kid, and then like nothing else. So all the references that people make Mean Girls references to me, and I'm like, I don't know.
You lost me.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I have no idea.
That's interesting. We have a 10-year-old, so I sometimes explain to him when we were younger, you watched the movies you had. Yeah. Or I mean, you could go rent them, but also you would buy a VHS tape and then you'd watch it and then you had to rewind it, So it's not like now when you can go through way too many things or, waiting for a show the next week or going to the bathroom during a commercial break. Those things he doesn't quite understand.
Yeah, pausing.
Right.
Well, you couldn't pause it.
Like,
never
pause.
What are you
when
doing?
you could pause anything, that was exciting.
Yeah. Monumental.
It's a choice.
I had a TV that was, first of all, a little bugbear I have. So my grandfather died when I was 5, and I was willed in his his television. And then my parents kept it, and they gave me their old TV. And I think that should be against the law.
You should take it up with an attorney at this point.
I still want that TV. This is how many years ago? So, but they gave me the TV that had like a little knob on it. And it was way past the years when I should have had the knob. But if you angled it just right, and you got between 5 and 6, you could get HBO. And HBO at midnight, my God.
Yeah.
That's X-rated.
Yeah, it's funny when you can hear him over there. He's also still 21 or something.
You just and then every once in a while you'd have to smack. I had the sound turned down so low that I would have my ear to the speaker that was like this mini speaker on the TV. And those were the days.
That is, nothing really glitches like that now. I feel like there was a lot of secret. We would watch the public access channel really late.
Yeah, I love
and it would be
access.
like mud wrestling or something weird, where it was clearly a sexual thing, but it wasn't, so they could kind of get away with it. But it was, we stumbled upon some naked stuff. And then you're like, well, we're just going to watch that. I don't know. It just came on. What are you going to do? So that, he couldn't be like, oh, well, if you stop it between Netflix and Hulu, then HBO comes up. That's not going to happen.
And there's so much choice. Like I don't do well with a whole lot of choices. I'm autistic. I have ADHD. My therapist said, I think you also have OCD, but I don't want to give you too many things.
I want to add you another thing to the list.
That's literally what she said. She was like, also, I don't know how much of this is like trauma stuff, but you say that you don't care if it's traumatic, that it doesn't bother you. And she's like, so I guess you're fine. And I was like, yeah.
Cool. Yes.
Done and dusted.
We don't have any of that. That's okay. So choice. Yeah. Their little brains are probably going so fast. So it would have been if, we're not going to call it the library because you have to pay for it. But if the, if the renting of books took off the same way a Blockbuster or a Hollywood Video went off, we'd probably be better off as a society.
We could. It might be one of those things, when you you give tickets away to a comedy show and people do not respect it. But if you charge them just like $10, then they come. Maybe people would like books more.
Yeah, if they actually paid for it, then they would feel more invested in it.
I could have changed society.
Yeah.
This is on me.
And this is why, because maybe he heard it and said, she's a little bit behind the library thing, but really you were ahead of it.
Yeah.
And we weren't ready for it.
Oh, that's a great point. That's great. We weren't ready.
We were ready to pay to rent books. We hate reading. Anyways, do you have did you bring any other bad ideas?
Oh, my God.
Bad, we'll put bad in quotes.
Okay,
since that.
Couple things. Speed round. I would like it if my shampoo and my conditioner could be in one bottle, but not a 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. I want the bottle. I want a divider in between. I want 2 caps.
Okay.
Conditioner on one side, shampoo on the other. I want to be able to decide how much is coming in, because I don't know if you are trying to keep me from having conditioner or you're trying to keep me from shampoo. I don't know the mixture ratio, but if I can do it.
Right, then one bottle's okay.
Yeah, and
we're
it
not
saves
mixing
space.
it together. That's fair.
Yeah.
Would it probably save plastic in some way?
It might save
Maybe,
plastic.
I don't know.
Now here's the
Science.
thing. I do. I thought you were a scientist.
Yes, this is. You tell me the idea. I figure it out.
You figure it out. You've
scientifically.
got a 3D printer back there. I do pick up trash every day. Pick up a lot of litter, and like I've said, thousands of pounds of litter at this point. And I just I don't believe that we're going to make it recycling wise. So
I don't think we're doing really well.
when we talk about plastic, I'm just I'm just out here trying to steal people's identities. That's really it.
Where are you putting it? What do you feel like when you pick? This is off topic, but do you feel like when you're picking up the trash, putting it in I'm assuming a trash bin?
In my pants.
Yeah, you're just like, I just
Taking
keep
it to the
I
library.
take it home.
I
But
take
you should not. This is why we're moving.
Yeah.
We've run out of space.
We've
That's
run out-
why
it's all
your
the
husband
trash.
didn't get relocated. You just ran out of space everywhere you were keeping all the trash you picked up.
Just leave it.
Yeah, I wouldn't assume you feel like, this is now it's gone. It doesn't go. You're just moving it around, not in the way that it's great. You're taking it out of.
I think of
it
myself
would
as like
stress
a
me out.
Roomba, like an outdoor Roomba.
There you
Just
go.
I go and I can clean up the area around me, which I like, because I'm they say not OCD, but also I want it all to be clean and lined up. I don't care if it's my possessions or not. I've kept some of the stuff that I've found. Sometimes you find things. I'll tell you one thing I didn't keep. Is this a clean podcast?
No.
Okay. Do you know what a Tenga egg is?
No. Is it? Where do you put that?
You don't. Men do.
Oh. In the beehole.
Somebody knows what it is. This is a male single-use sex egg. Single use. They're $30, and you get 6 of them. Single use. You can't even put them in the dishwasher. I found this on the side of the road, and I thought it was just an Easter egg because it looks the same. It's just you could just look at my eyes. Just went and picked it up, and I was like, "This is cute." It also looks like something that you could clean dust out of, like a keyboard with. Which I wouldn't. This is bad pitches. I would not use this egg to clean the dust out because it's very. Here's what happened. I took it home, and then I was paranoid about it, and I buried it in the yard.
Okay.
Because I didn't even want to throw it away. I was just like,
You're afraid somebody might see that
Yeah,
you
and-
came from your home.
I was just like, I don't even know what to do with it.
I'm wondering how. I mean, this is me overanalyzing why there's trash on the outside. Sometimes I know a bag gets loose and rips open, probably.
Yeah.
But now I'm feeling like someone just tossed it out of the car window.
I do think, that was the case in that. A lot of it is it just blows around, but in that case,
You do feel
it
like
was blown around.
Something was blown.
And then I didn't know what it was. I'm very naive in
You
general.
wear gloves.
Most of the time, yes.
Was this
Yeah,
one of the times?
was one of the times.
Okay.
When I don't wear gloves, I pick things up with my mouth.
You want to get it on your hands.
So I went home. I went on my Instagram, and I was like, "What is this? You guys think this is?" And then the world told
immediately
me.
the gays were like, "Here you go. We know what this is. If you plant it, another gay man will grow."
Yeah. So that's one of my pitches. The shampoo and conditioner in one bottle. Also, I want on my car, I want there to be a keypad that I can use that goes out the front that has like an LED screen that I can put like neon letters or whatever, so that I can be vulgar to the other cars that have cut me off.
Okay, so in front.
Yeah, in front, in back, side to side.
Okay.
I want all angles.
All around. I've definitely seen like some sort of changeable things, but I feel like they're only in the back window, and it's like, follow this for maid service.
Yeah, you're not. That's not what I'll say.
That's not what you're putting.
What do you? How dare you?
That would be fun to start with something like that. Be like, you support the troops, and then the next is like, what the fuck are you looking at?
Screw the troops. That's my job. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I've just because I hate how people drive. And I've said this before. I'll say it 10 more times. I came back to Seattle. I landed last night, and I started driving. And when I was here, I got a traumatic brain injury from I-5. Somebody spun me on the highway. Cop said, "Wow, you should be dead," which is great. Cop speak on the side of the road.
Cool bedside manner.
Midnight. And it is still better to drive here than San Antonio. San Antonio, I would take the brain injury. Because here they cut you off a little bit, but they're kind of polite. They use their turn signals. In Texas, you don't know if they want you to die. They've all got big trucks, 80 miles an hour.
With that. Yeah, for sure.
And it's 8 lanes of highway. Your life is in your hands every day.
Here, I think everybody's too passive, so even when they are being rageful, then they get in front of you and they're like, doo, doo, doo.
That's the thing. I've come back and now I'm the aggressor.
Yeah, maybe. The problem I have with the road rage situation, I guess, is that there's not, I'm not flipping people off and stuff. Maybe that would help.
Oh, yeah.
But then I feel like there's no closure now. That person just
no
gets
justice.
to go away. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. We were driving up here from Tacoma a few weeks ago, and this motherfucker. We were in the carpool lane going 70 plus, which is not the speed limit. Speed limit is 60. There's people, pretty maybe 3 car lengths in front of us. They're right there. And this guy's just on my ass, right? And I'm like, I don't know where you want me to go. I'm like trying to get over so he can be a dipshit to somebody else, whatever. But it's like traffic here. So he goes on the shoulder and starts to go and kicks up all the shit that's on the side. Cracks my windshield.
No.
Yeah. I was like, not
I will
only are
hunt
you
him
an
down
ass,
for you.
That's what it felt like. And we couldn't,
No.
then he speeds up, he like rides the shoulder for a while. So we couldn't get his license plate. Some other person behind us did it too. She was crazy. I was like, oh my God. So yeah, then we just had to pay $400 to replace our windshield.
Are these people? It was horrible.
See, no closure. Even if we had the sign on there now, switch it real quick.
Yeah.
Maybe even you can put it to the other people around you, like, that guy was a dick, right?
Yeah.
Like, you guys saw that.
Yeah, you saw that, right? Like, we all meet up for a beer later. You saw that.
Anybody know that guy? Yeah. Oh, God. Dude, yeah, it could be helpful. I think it would help me have some sort of closure in those situations.
Yeah. My other idea is Nerf cars. I want the cars to all be Nerf anyway.
Like a foam?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just for accidents.
Okay, just for accidents.
Like how your face.
I'm like trying to understand it completely, but like the whole car foam, Nerf foam though, which is pretty significant. Like,
yeah,
it'll
still hurt. But you can ram somebody, and it won't be that bad.
I see. Ooh, for like a bumper car. So I like
you
how
could
a lot of this is around.
There's a lot of
frustration with traffic. Yeah.
I'm moving to New York City where I will not be allowed to drive ever again.
Yeah, you probably don't have to there, so
yeah,
it'll work out okay. I don't hate that. Now I'm imagining everybody in an orange and blue car, though.
Yes,
like,
why is it orange and blue? Yeah, and then we could have the little guns on the side, and so that would be fun. Maybe I would trade the writing for the guns.
Okay, Nerf guns. That'd be fun.
And then it would also be, how like sometimes you can like play with your friends where it's like play fighting. You can do that with the other cars, and you can also real fight. So like you can bring out the big guns, and that shoots the real hard missiles at their car.
Okay.
But if it's just like I see you driving, and I'm just like, oh, and Monica to know I'm here, and just
do one of those ones that like sticks on.
Yes,
and
then you're just like, oh, that's Ashley's.
It's such a visual, actually, because I'm thinking like that exact part where that happened near Tacoma, right across from the Emerald Queen Casino is where that guy went around us. So now I'm imagining that backed up with just orange and blue cars everywhere and people just like bumping. It would be, because then you feel so much rage in a moment, right? I don't necessarily, I'm not that angry of a person, but other people do.
Yeah,
and
as you can tell by my
make some interesting decisions that could be probably unsafe if you were to make that decision where it was just, you just bounce off or whatever. It didn't really cause damage to the car. Because I would assume, foam and foam, it's just going to bounce.
It's fine.
Worst case scenario, to get a little rip. But that's it.
Yeah, and I think that'll also happen. We'll go around picking pieces out of these cars. Just spill
Something out of it.
like stealing like the little hubcaps or the valve caps.
That's. I mean, it would be fun.
Yeah,
People love a good like a bumper car situation.
when I'm president.
When you're president, I mean,
Foam cars. That'll be my platform. Make America foam
cars.
again.
Yeah. What do they run on? Still gas? Or I think that would be a.
Well, haven't you heard the conspiracy that we don't even need gas, that you can run your car on water, but the gas companies kill everybody? That shows
Says
that
that?
it's possible.
Um,
Oh, no,
I'm a
sorry.
scientist.
Right, I forgot you were a scientist. Yeah, apparently they.
Is that a conspiracy? I'm not up on my conspiracies. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But I
That's
could. I've started to trust anyone less and less.
Yeah,
So
you should.
I think something like that, with people being, I don't necessarily buy into conspiracies always.
Yeah.
But if somebody was like, no, this is actually true, here's all the science, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can
no,
see them
that's
lying
fair.
about that. I don't
That's
know.
fair. Anything where there's money to be made.
For sure. Yeah.
And oil, I don't know if you know this, there's some cash there.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
little bit, yeah.
Seems like maybe
My dad,
wars. But anyway.
so my parents both were helicopter mechanics.
Okay.
Helicopters run on jet fuel, Jet A fuel, and that also same fuel can be used in diesel vehicles.
Okay.
We only had diesel vehicles growing up
Really?
because my dad would take the jet fuel from the airport, and he would put it in the back of the truck in big 50-gallon drums, and we'd bring it home. We had our own little pump. This sounds like I live on a farm. I did not. I definitely lived in just a regular neighborhood.
I don't even know what it sounds like, but I've never heard a story like this.
It sounds like
before.
saving money on gas.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, for sure.
So then he got a giant rusty gas tank that was like 600 gallons, and we would fill that up. And then he was worried the neighbors would find out because we were just like right on top of each other. So he put a little half fence there to hide it. Didn't even
It's like
put
a
through the whole
septic
fence.
tank or something. That's,
Yeah, there's like an outdoor rusty gas diesel fueled septic tank, and yeah, I didn't have to
Mm.
pay for gas for a long time.
That's great, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely great you didn't have to pay for gas.
Yeah, it does sound like it's against the law.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you think it is?
I mean, I was under 18.
You're like, I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
I mean, now I'm more interested in your father's response to the whole library situation based on what he was doing.
There's a lot going on there. When I was in 7th grade, I had one group of girls that was trying to stab me because they said I was gay, and another group trying to stab me because they said I was trying to steal their boyfriend.
Oh, that's confusing.
If only they could have come together,
Yeah.
right? And so my dad's response to that was to take me to the flea market and get me a stun gun.
Okay.
So your son is 10.
Yes.
2 years from now, can you imagine giving him a stun gun from a flea market?
No, I can barely let him ride a bike. It's,
Yeah, so that's sort of my upbringing.
and he was just like, here you go.
Yeah,
This will take care of it.
So he got me a little
Did you
strap.
use it?
Yeah, we wouldn't screw around with it, shock each other
Okay,
mostly.
but never.
I never had to use it on anybody else. They moved me to a Christian school after that, known for its gay tolerance, I guess.
Oh, okay.
No,
Good,
not
yeah.
at all.
Oh, they're worried you're gay? Okay.
they just wanted I was being threatened at that school for these people said I was gay, so then they moved me out of the school, but then to move me to like this very religious. But he got me a strap for the side for the stun gun, and then I would walk around, and I had aviator glasses and a SpongeBob visor, and I just walk them all just strapped,
There you go.
ready.
Just in case shit went down, you look like a security guard at
Did
the
little
toy store.
12-year-old security guard, cute as can be.
I mean, honestly, I know you came with some rapid fire ideas, but I feel like we got some really good sprinkled in information
Got some
throughout.
little stuff I try,
Yeah, it's
I
great.
got the things going on.
So wait, okay, this is maybe an inappropriate question.
No,
but-
ask me all the inappropriate
Okay,
questions.
so somebody wanted to stab you because they thought you were gay, but
Yeah.
other people thought you were going to steal their boyfriend. And I know that it's a common thing for you on social media that people think you're gay now.
Yeah.
But you're married to a man.
Yeah, I am. However, nothing. I'm attracted to anybody for their personality.
Okay.
So I don't care what they are. If you're nice to me and you're a turtle,
I love a
on
nice
board.
turtle. Yeah, okay.
love a
Got
nice
it.
turtle.
Got it.
My husband is also 20 years older, so we like.
So he's kind of a turtle already.
He's kind of a turtle already. I give him Benadryl, so he's out. He always tells me that he says, "When I die, you go find yourself a nice wife." And I was like,
Thanks, man.
um,
Your support.
appreciate it. But yeah, so I never, to me, and the therapist tells me that this goes along with autism, that some people have it where they don't care, they don't like I don't feel like a woman, I don't feel like anything.
Okay, yeah.
I just feel like a person. And I don't feel like straight, none of that makes any sense to me. It's just like, what do you like the person? Is that person interesting in some way? My husband is very interesting to me. He's amazing. So to have those like at odds kind of things was so weird, especially because it happened at the same time. My parents had to go to the police, and it was a whole thing. So,
well, that just feels like, because I know, I mean, I am a gay person, but when you were called gay when you were younger, and especially in the 90s or whatever, it was very bad. That meant very bad, and so you were adamantly denying it for a long time. But also at that age, you kind of don't really know what that means, or you don't know what you are.
This? Yeah.
So now two groups of people are kind of saying the opposite thing, and you're like, how am I supposed to figure out? I don't even know how to defend myself because I can't figure out what's happening. That's such a weird.
I was so
stun gun. That's what we'll do.
Stun gun. That's what we'll get. I was so obsessed with having like a partner, like a person as a kid. Like I knew that when I grew up, all I wanted was to have one person that I spend life with and just like latch onto. And I like that. Like I've never been somebody that has like had multiple like boyfriends or anything like.
Right, not going around or whatever.
Yeah, I remember going around. I remember this one time.
Ladies going around.
I was in the back of a car, right, and I was a teenager, and my friend said, "Okay, we're both gonna kiss this guy," and he was all excited about it. He's like, "We're both gonna do it," and she kisses him first, and I'm just like, "Oh my God, this is so like bad," and I'm like probably 17, so can you imagine how naive I am? That I'm just like, I'm gonna kiss this boy. This is so bad. She kisses him, and then he goes to kiss me, and I laugh for a good 10 minutes. Can't do it. I'm laughing so hard in this poor boy's face, just like dying, like that cry laughing. And you could tell he's just like, what's wrong with me? And I'm like, it's definitely not you. It's definitely me.
Don't worry.
This whole situation is hilarious because I have there's nothing going on here.
It's good you had the forethought, because I do think about weird situations like that now where I'm like, what the hell was anybody doing then? Like, I get it, like you can't just go home and like, kiss in the bedroom or whatever, but still you're like, what the
we found like the weirdest.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you got what you were looking for then. You wanted a partner, and you've been together for a long time.
Yes.
Great.
I talked to some of my friends about, like, do you have like a type of person that you like?
I do have a personality type, I think, is what it turned out to be. We joke about it, and I don't mean this in ever a mean way, but my wife is kind of mean, and I needed, not to me, but to...
You're too nice.
Yes.
Okay.
I needed somebody who was going to stand up for us, basically, and like she's very irritated when I'm like, oh, it's fine, everything's good, very passive Northwest. That's for sure. And so I needed someone that was not only going to like stand up for me in real life, but stand up for me to me sometimes, when I'm like, oh, I don't know. She's like, you're great, but stop being stupid, So I needed a mean person. That's what was going to work.
Yeah. I think my husband is lovely. He's very, he's not mean, but he definitely will stand up for things. And he will also just say whatever it is. So we have a phrase that we say, the spitting has started, because one time we were running a marathon together, and then he said, oh, the spitting has started, because a woman in front of us had spit, and she turned around and she was like, sorry. But he thought we were just in a little bubble.
Got it.
And so he does
like,
that. He does that a lot.
Other people, which is great. I admire that. I'm jealous of that a little bit.
But I do have this is something I've told him about. This is what I think my type. So this is what I want eventually. Do you know, like, can you picture a Ralph Lauren, like a woman that owns Ralph Lauren or Ralph Lauren? Okay. Just picture her owning it. She's got like a white, she's probably 80. And she's got like
You're really into older
a white,
no matter what.
Crisp white shirt. She's probably got like some sort of sailor thing going on.
Okay. I mean, I get it. I'm Blythe Danner is who's coming to mind, but that, okay.
Probably like a khaki or a blue, some sort of nautical theme. Okay. She smokes cigarettes that are so long. They're just so long. And all she does is yell at me. She hates me.
Okay.
She cannot stand me.
Interesting.
She just berates me.
So I don't think you're really attracted to people. I think you're attracted to marriage and like and the stereotype of what like a long marriage is. That's what that says in my head. Actually, you just described one of my grandmothers. I'm sorry she's passed, but yeah, she had strokes too from smoking for so many years. And
so good.
She she could only get out swear words basically. Eventually, yeah. So son of a bitch and motherfucker and stuff. But yeah, I think that might have been your soulmate.
That sounds like my dream.
What?
Yeah. The thing is, if you are with somebody that's old enough and you have ADHD, you get the variety because they die. You could get a new person.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So apparently you and your husband have already planned. Is this a good idea, bad idea? I don't know. But when he passes, what
he's
you
on board.
would. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I practice now carrying him. He's 185 pounds. You have to put them over your shoulder. You have to make sure that you can. I'm 130. But I lift weights to make sure that if the ambulance ever comes, I can get him out the door. You should know he's not infirm at all.
I would assume he's been in the military for a long time, just now retiring.
He's still in the military. Still could run with me. Yeah, I pick him up because you want to save on those ambulance costs. They're expensive.
Well, then you'll be prepared for your late wife. Okay. Will you tell everyone where they can follow you so that they can come see you and keep up with what trash you're picking up?
You can see me hanging out at the old folks' homes trying to pick up old ladies. Yeah, AshleyGutermuth.com at Ash Gutermuth. Is everywhere libraries are sold. YouTube. It looks like Guttermouth. In fact, I own Ashley Guttermouth because people type in.
People get to night. That's smart. Well, then look that up too.
Tell that to my future wife who's yelling at me.
That's great. We'll put all of those things in the description of the video so you can follow and do all that. Follow here, subscribe, rate, review, whatever. But right now, you can just keep watching Dumb Pitches.
You're weird.
Yes. Dumb Pitches was created and hosted by me, Monica Nevi. Recorded with Nast Studios in Seattle, Washington, and produced by Blake Burton of Nast Studios. Theme music by Michael Evans. Paid for by Nevi Ending Productions, which is just me. So please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you are listening. Join YouTube memberships now if you really want to help. youtube.com/MonicaNevi/join.